Good evening, subscribers. Let's continue with that what is controversial. No, we're not going to talk about witchcraft or Lilith, but something controversial within narcissistic abuse. It can almost seem quite heartless. And this is not something you determine like that. But when a significant amount of time, advice, help, and truth has been revealed, this is something very sad, unfortunate, inconvenient truth that must be realized. Now, what I'm talking about is not enabling the narcissist victim. Be very clear. The victim. We're not talking about enabling a narcissist. Obviously, you don't do that. Those are called enablers or flying monkeys. And, it's not exactly the same thing, but flying monkeys do enable narcissists. Enabling the victim. Now, what do I mean by this? I mean, after a certain amount of time in truth, you cannot enable and be the crutch of the narcissist victim. Now, in this sense, we're talking about someone who they're in a relationship with a narcissist. We'll say a relationship because parents a little different. The person could be underage, and that muddies the waters a little bit. But a relationship is by choice, so we'll stick with that. We'll stick with stuff that is 100% a matter of free will. So, someone's dating a narcissist. They're unhappy. Been unhappy for a while. Everybody knows there's something wrong with this dude. The things everyone else can see, she doesn't want to believe it, or can't face it, or doesn't want to accept the fact that she wasted whatever amount of time she's been with him. You get this sometime. My fellow Lolithans who tried to break the chains of slave girls will, nonetheless agree with me. Saving slave girls, very, almost impossible. I did it once. It's higher in this ring. I like that ring. But this is a situation where perhaps someone doesn't know what a narcissist is, doesn't know what narcissistic abuse is. And, someone who does sees the look in her eyes, sees the pattern, sees the traits, gaslighting, slander, the constant put down, living their life on trial, the projection, the control aspect, all of it. You watch my narcissist tactic videos to know the specific tactics of the narcissist. But there is no doubt that this person is a narcissist. There's no doubt that, the partner, we'll just say for the sake of argument, female. I'll do a version with borderlines where the victim's a male, because more females tend to be borderline, more males tend to be narcissists. My audience tends to be more female. That's probably because I'm pretty. But anyway, I jest. I know I'm aging. The gray hairs are coming. My current situation is doing it no favors. But this person knows something's wrong. In their heart of hearts, they want to leave. But something compels them to make them feel they can't. Could it be the lack of confidence? Because the narcissist will beat you down and make you think that you need them and cannot function without them. A little side note, maybe somebody's borderline mother tried to do that and kept him ensnared longer than he should have been. Well, he by rights escaped at 19, and then the machinations of others ensnared him in that trap yet again. And the recession, which was also caused by baby boomers, by the way. But in my example, we're talking close friends, family. Nobody likes this dude. They all see him for what he is, but she just can't bring herself to, well, you'll never find someone better than me. I'm the best thing that ever happened to you. And, usually these relationships start not where she's like, oh my God, he's so my type and everything I wanted. No, it's always right place, right time, wears down. Wears down, beats down, keeps down, entraps, ensnares. Narcissist tactics. And then maybe, the guy she always wanted does come along, and now there's real conflict. In these situations, you cannot enable the victim. And yeah, it's true, to enable the victim. Obviously tell the victim the truth. Like, this is what you're dealing with. This is who this person really is. Deep down, you know it. Everybody else sees it. They're not fooling anybody. You're just not strong enough to face it. But guess what? You have to face it. Because the rest of us are sick of you hearing it complain, and yet you don't change nothing. Get it? Where it's like, oh, I want to go, but I can't. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can, slave girl. It's called free will. This girl will help you if no one else can. But, this girl, Lilith. Anyway. After a certain amount of time, after revealing the truth and trying to help this person, logistically as well, you have to realize that you're serving as a crutch, an emotional crutch, which you can't do. Why? Because if you're serving as an emotional crutch to this person, you are perhaps what's making it tolerable for her to stay with this narcissist. Ergo, you're enabling further abuse. You're, in the long run, making it harder for her to break free. So, while it may seem cruel, you have to cut off that emotional support, cut off that crutch, cut off how she's using you to make her current situation tolerable, and therefore she has to deal with the situation for what it is, as it is, without anyone, giving her what she actually needs emotionally. Can be tough to do. Can be tough to do if you're a close female friend. Can be real tough to do if, you're perhaps the other guy she has feelings for and knows the situation is trying to free her and be with her, but your bias shows, I might have been in this situation. Really tough, but it's what, if you care about this person, you have to do it. You have to make them, face or truly accept the situation they're truly in and understand that, hey, this person's so toxic, nobody else wants to deal with them anymore. It's like, so, if you're going to condemn yourself to this fate of being this subservient slave girl who's almost always miserable and always seeking release, but, beckon someone to smash open the cage, but then you don't come out, yeah, it's like, fine. You deal with it. This is what you want. Free will and all. You got it. You want it, you got it. Careful what you wish for. But you can't enable the continuation of it. You can't be that crutch, that drug that, makes it tolerable, makes her continue to prolong, to make excuses for the narcissist, say, oh, it's not that bad, and cycles and ebbs and flows and some other shit. On and off happiness, but the on part's extremely short and, gets shorter every time because that's the narcissistic cycle. Do just enough when the supply's about to leave to keep the supply. Just enough. It's like a drug addict taking just enough not to go into withdrawals. Understand that you're not helping this person after a while by being that crutch to make that relationship with the narcissist tolerable. You have to cut them off. You have to know the longer they prolong the relationship with the narcissist, the more damage it's going to do, one, and the harder it's going to be to recover from, the harder it's going to be to break that pattern. See, a narcissist, time is their friend. In many ways, they often exploit good timing. They find people when they're weak and down and vulnerable and exploit that. But also, the longer they have a hold on you, that normalizes, I said in I think it was exactly my previous video, normalizes the abuse to where that pattern of behavior, that misery with the narcissist, that cycle of narcissistic abuse becomes comfortable. It becomes comfortable like old leather. And after a while, it's all the victim can remember. It's normalized. They don't see it for what it really is, because a lot of times, and I can speak from my own experience, you don't truly understand how bad narcissistic abuse is until you go no contact and get away from it, and then it floods back. Because when you're in it, you're in survival mode, trying to convince yourself that you can get through it, because you think there's no way out, but there is. There's no contact. you can cut that person out. They can't stop you. I mean, they can try, but it doesn't usually end well for them. So keep in mind that if you know someone you care about in any way, is in a bad situation with a narcissist that continues to deteriorate, and it's something that they've admitted they've wanted to get out of for a while, to be that emotional crutch only prolongs the abuse, only continues to give the narcissist what they want, and makes it harder to break free. As time goes on, they get deeper, deeper, deeper down that tunnel of narcissistic control. And the darker it gets, the harder it is to find the way out. So once you reveal the truth to somebody, once they understand what it is, if they still can't break free, then you have to cut them loose before you become an enabler of the narcissist. And well, a lot of times it'll just drag you down as well. You can't save chumps, and you can't save slave girls. People that have resigned themselves to being completely subservient to a narcissist, even when offered, help and support with getting rid of them. It's a sad, horrible truth. My sister witches can attest to this. I know you watch, Amanda, tell them, Amanda. But it is a sad truth to realize, and it can be heartbreaking to accept that someone's with such potentials resigned themselves to such a fate. But if you're like me, you're trying to help people, you can't destroy yourself trying to save someone who's condemned themselves to a life of submission and servitude, all for the sake of providing a narcissist their narcissistic supply. Dark truth, I know. Probably not going to be a very popular video, but an important lesson to learn anyway.